Count your gains instead of your losses. Count your joys instead of your woes. Count your friends instead of your foes. Count your smiles instead of your tears. Count your courage instead of your fears. Count your full years instead of your lean. Count your kind deeds instead of your mean. Count your health instead of your wealth. Count on God instead of yourself. I thought that was really cute. So welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Is that Louisa from Newport? You made it. Yay. Good. So you have a good internet connection there. Okay, yogis, we're going to start off with our breathing practice. Sit up nice and tall, please. Any comfortable position as long as your spine is nice and erect and your air passages are open. Close your eyes and just think about your breath. In and out through your nose only. Big, deep breaths. Slow down your breathing and just make it deeper and longer. Feel your lungs expand with each breath. Feel your diaphragm contract. And then I'm going to talk you through a Rechaka breath. Rechaka simply means extended exhalation. So we're going to take a big inhale. We're going to pause for a couple of seconds and take an extended exhale and pause for a couple of seconds. So the pattern is inhale, big count of 4, pause for 2, exhale for a count of 8, and pause for 2. This type of breath with the extended exhalation has a profound effect on your parasympathetic nervous system. It really helps calm and rest your anxieties and gives you a good feeling of euphoria. So we'll begin and I will count for you so you don't have to worry about counting. And on the inhale, make sure you're inhaling fully, deeply through your nose, filling your entire diaphragm with air. Ready? We'll begin. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 1, 2. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 1. Now bring your breathing back to normal. And I shall greet you with my opening. Om Balu Satguru Bhagavan Ki, the divine is the inner teacher. Thanks for coming. So that Rechaka breath, you can use pretty much whatever pattern you like. This is a beginner's pattern, 4, 2, 8, 2. Navy SEALs use this pattern with a much longer inhalation, much longer pause, and much longer exhalation. But it's a very, very good breath to make you focus on your inner being instead of the exterior world. All right, so today's yoga class, we're going to do a lot of standing poses, a lot of back bends, chest openers, twists as usual. We'll start with our neck stretches. So take a deep breath. As you exhale, turn your head to the right. Keep your chin parallel. Take a deep breath here. Exhale as you turn your head back to center. Inhale. Exhale, turn your head to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Keep your chin parallel. Inhale. Exhale back to center. Now we're going to make a clock motion with our face, like going from 6 to 12 and back down to 6. So take a deep breath. Exhale, drop your chin to your chest. And as you slowly inhale, drag your chin over to the right and then look up over your right shoulder. And then continue looking up very slowly until you look up at 12 o'clock. And then exhale as you come down over your left shoulder. And then come back to center. Repeat. Inhale as you look up over the right, up around the clock face to 12 o'clock, and exhale as you come down over the left and pause here. Now we'll go the opposite direction. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Inhale as you slowly drag your chin up the left side of your body. Look up to 12 o'clock. Exhale as you drop your chin back down to center, and repeat. Inhale as you lift your head over the left side. Look up and bring your chin down onto the right side, and then come back to center and bring your head up to neutral. Inhale. Exhale, bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Take the right hand, place it on top of your left ear. Just rest it, don't pull on it. And then take your left arm and just stretch your fingers down away from you. This will enhance the neck stretch. A couple more deep breaths here. And release. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Left hand to the right side of the head gently, just for weight. And then the fingertips point away to enhance the stretch. Away at a diagonal from your body. Release and back to center. Now please come seated with your legs in front of you in Dandasana. If you have something that you're sitting on, you can remain on your bolster or blanket. And your legs are straight out from your hip sockets. Feet are pointed up, knees are pointed up, but not locked. You don't want to lock your knees. So here's a tip. If you are sitting up on a big bolster, you might want to take a rolled up blanket just to support underneath your knees so they don't hyperextend. Have your torso in a 90-degree angle from your legs. Bring your shoulders down from your ears, your arms down by your sides, hands resting by your hips. Bring your belly in and tilt your pelvis forward slightly so that you have a little bit of an arch in your lower back. Make sure your head's directly on top of your shoulders. This is called Dandasana, staff pose. Take a couple deep breaths here. All your muscles are engaged. Drag your heels on the sticky mat towards your body so that you engage your leg muscles. Bring your chest forward. And now please bend your right knee and bring your foot into your groin area. Keep your spine nice and long as you take your left arm, hug the right knee into your chest. You can either use your hand or the crook of your arm, and then take a deep breath as you bring your right hand forward, and then twist to the right as you exhale. And then you're going to plant the right hand behind your body on the mat and use that as a kickstand to keep your spine vertical. As you breathe several deep breaths here. Every time you exhale, get a little deeper into the twist. Twisting is one of the best things that you can do for your spine on a daily basis. Deep breath in. Exhale, come back to center. Now keep your knee bent, but walk your foot out a little bit to the right, and then walk your left leg out a little bit to the left so that you have a V here. Reestablish your spine so that you're nice and tall. You have that lower back, a little bit of a curve, a neutral spine. And then you're going to turn your body so that your chest is lined up over your leg, your left leg. Plant one hand on either side of that leg. And then keeping your long spine, you're just going to let your chest drop down toward your thigh. Keep the foot flexed, keep your spine long, and avoid hunching over. Don't allow your lower back to collapse. Keep your lower back nice and strong. Doesn't matter how far forward you go. You just want a nice, long, straight line from the crown of your head to your tailbone. And relax here for several breaths. This is a modified Janu Sirsasana, which means head to knee pose. And slowly push back up. And now widen both legs into a V. And again, if you're sitting on a bolster or blanket, or even if you're not, try to tilt your pelvis forward. It's easier to do that if you're sitting up, to tilt your pelvis forward. You want to get a neutral lower back, long spine. Feet are pointing up, knees are pointing up, but your knees are not locked. Okay, this is called Upavista Konasana, upward seated angle pose. Inhale, bring your left arm up. Exhale, lean over to the right and plant your right hand beside your hip. Open up the left rib cage. And then pull yourself back up, hand back down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, plant your left hand as you lean to the left, opening up your right rib cage. Make sure your feet stay flexed. Make sure your knees are not locked. Inhale, pull yourself back up. Exhale, arm comes down. Inhale, bring your arms to a T. Exhale, twist to the right. Now you're going to take your left hand on your right thigh. Your right hand's going to go behind you again. Take several deep breaths here. Keep your spine long. Think about spiraling your spine upward. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, arms in a T. Exhale, twist left. Right hand comes to the left thigh. Left hand parks behind you on the mat. Several deep breaths here. Keep your feet flexed, knees pointing up. Inhale. Exhale, come to center. Okay, keep your pelvis tilted forward, which means you have a little bit of an arch in your lower back, and then bring your hands in front of you. If you have blocks and you want to use your block, you can bring your block here and just walk your hands forward as far as you can without compromising your back. So it doesn't matter how far down you come. What matters is keeping a nice long spine so that you can feel a stretch in your lower back. Don't allow it to collapse. Think about a straight line from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Several deep breaths here, depending on your hip flexibility, how deep you can go. But like I said, that's not the important part. So we're stretching our groin muscles, our hip flexors, and our hamstrings, and our back muscles here. And very slowly push back up. Okay, so now we're going to walk the right leg in a little bit, bend the left knee and walk that foot back in a little bit. And then we're going to turn our torso so that our chest is over the right thigh. And one hand on either side of the leg. As you come down, bring your chest toward that leg in this modified Janu Sirsasana. Take your time, keep your spine long, and keep your head in line with your spine. Don't allow your head to drop. And come back up. Now walk the leg back in front of you and walk your foot back in front of you, keeping the knee bent. Take the right arm, hug the knee into the chest. Keep your spine long. Inhale. arm forward, exhale, twist to the left hand parks behind you. Inhale, exhale, slowly unwind back to center. And then please come onto your hands and knees in a table position, patting your knees as needed here. Keep your knees happy. Greasing the hinges. Take a deep breath with a flat back. And as you exhale, bring your hips back towards your heels as if you were going to child pose. And then inhale, slowly pop back up to your table. And then exhale slowly, bring your bottom down towards your heels. Inhale, slowly come back to table. And one more exhale, slowly bring your bottom back toward your heels. And come back to table as you inhale. With a flat table back and your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, take a deep breath with a flat back. Exhale, push up into your cat back, tucking your chin, tucking your tailbone. Feel your vertebra open up toward the ceiling. Feel your shoulder blades separate. And then inhale as you very slowly allow your belly to drop down and extend your spine long, head forward, tailbone back. So now you're in a banana back. And then exhale, bring your bottom all the way back to child pose. And then inhale, back to table. Put weight into your left hand and open your right arm as you inhale, twist to the right. Take a deep breath. Exhale, the hand comes down. Inhale as you push into your hands and come up all the way onto your knees, and then bring your arms overhead into Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute, palms facing each other. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, arms in a T. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, your arms back beside your ears. Keeping the twist. Exhale, keeping the twist, bring your hands down to the right side of your mat, or outside of your mat even. And then slowly bring your bottom back to your heels. So this is a lateral child. You open, feel your left ribs open. And now slowly walk your hands to center. And then push back to table. Inhale with a flat back. Okay, from here, take a deep breath. Tuck your toes, push up to downward facing dog. This is our first dog. Keep your knees bent, stretch your spine long. And now bring your knees back down to the mat. And then we're going to shift our chest forward into a kneeling upward facing dog. So your knees are on the mat, your chest is between your upper arms, and think about elongating your neck as the crown of your head pulls up. And then push back all the way to child pose. Come back to table, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, knees come down. Inhale. Exhale, bring your right knee up towards your chest and tuck your chin, bringing the nose to the knee. And then kick the right leg back and lift the left arm forward into our balancing table. Bring the hand down. Bring the foot down behind you. So now I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm going to be doing here. We're going to pivot. So here's where you are. We're going to pivot. Go this way, sorry. We're going to pivot on our knee as we lift our right arm up and open up to a modified side plank. So your right foot is lined up with your left knee. And then bring the hand down, repivot back forward, bring the knee back in, back to table. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, knees come down and chest comes forward into a kneeling upward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Exhale, push up and all the way back to child. Inhale, back to table. Exhale, tuck toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, knees come down. Take a deep breath with a flat back. And exhale, bring your left knee into your chest. Bring your chin down, nose to knee. Inhale, kick your left leg back behind you. And the right arm comes forward into our balancing table. So this is a lot of core work right here. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bring your hand down, bring your foot down behind you. And once again, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what we're going to do. We're simply going to pivot on our right knee, bring our left foot to line up with our right knee, and then the left arm lifts up to the ceiling into a modified side plank. And then bring the hand back down, repivot to your table, and then come up onto your knees, or you can stay here, or you can sit on your heels in Vajrasana if that's comfortable for you. I just want to do a little bit of wrist exercises right now to release our wrists. So whatever is comfortable for you, or you can come seated cross-legged if that's what you like also. Take your wrists in front of you and just circle them one way and then the other. Okay, bring the right hand forward. Point the fingers downward, take your left hand and sort of push on the back of the hand to coax the fingers toward you. Now release and lift your palm facing up and do the same thing. This time your fingers are coming to your body with your palm facing outward. And then release. Now do the left hand forward, palm down first, and gently coax the fingers towards your body. Release, palm up, opposite way. And then release. Now bring both hands in front of you with gentle, soft wrists. And then point your wrists down and then up and then down. And try to keep your arms level and unmoving. Just try to move only from your wrists. And one more, we're going to exercise. We're going to lace our fingers like so, and then cock our hands so that their hands are perpendicular to the ground and our elbows are up high. And then we're going to make waves. So we're going to switch now. Whatever hand was on top, the other hand's going to be on top. And then we'll switch again. And then we'll switch again. And one more time. and then release, and then just shake the hands out. And come all the way onto your bellies. Now on your bellies, I don't want you constantly looking up to try to see me, so I'm going to be very, very explicit. Hopefully you'll understand my words so that you won't have to keep looking up at me. So we're going to start with our arms over our head, palms facing down. You can rest your head on the mat if you like. Just try not to crunch your neck up. If you're going to hold your head up, don't crunch your neck. Palms facing down. So now we're going to push our pelvis into the mat, push our thighs into the mat. And if you can, if your ankles allow, push your tops of your feet into the mat. And then roll your thighs inwards slightly as if you're going to squeeze a balloon between your thighs. And keep those muscles engaged so your outer thighs are rolling down toward the mat. This gives a little bit of space in your lower back. And from here, we're going to raise our right arm up and our left leg up. A couple of breaths here. So you're stretching your right fingers forward, your left toes back. And then come down. And then we'll do the opposite. Lift the left arm and then the right leg, reaching the toes. And the fingers, opposite directions. And then come down. Now bring your hands by your sides, palms facing up. So your hands are resting right beside your body, palms facing up. Push your pelvis into the mat, push your thighs into the mat, push the feet into the mat, and lift your hands off the mat about 2 or 3 inches, and lift your chest and shoulders and head off the mat, and push your fingertips toward your feet. So you're pulling the shoulders away from your ears. Keep pushing down your thighs into the mat, keep rolling your thighs inward. And then come all the way down. Rest your head on the mat. Keep your hands, palms facing up. Hands on the mat, stay on the mat this time as you lift your feet off the mat. Point your toes, stretch your feet to the back. And then release back down. So that was variations of locust pose. So now bring your hands under your shoulders. Come to table. Tuck toes. Come into your downward facing dog. So as you're in your dog, think about this. Spread your fingers wide. Equal weight in all 10 fingers. Bend your knuckles slightly as if you're clawing the mat to take some weight off of your wrists. Pull your forearms toward each other, squeeze them toward each other. Feel your shoulders roll out as you do that. Put your booty way up into the air. Think about having a nice long line from the crown of your head to the tip of your tail. And keep your knees bent, or if you want to try to straighten them, but don't, if you do try to straighten them, don't allow your back to collapse. Now bend your knees a lot and walk slowly to the hands. And very slowly rise up. Inhale. Exhale. Arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. I think, David, I think you're not muted. I'm hearing something from your room. Let's see if I can mute you. Here, okay, you weren't muted. Okay. Okay, so we're in Tadasana. If you have blocks, please grab them and get them to the front of your mat. And then return to Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees forward, fold all the way down, either to blocks or to the mat. And then step back to downward facing dog. You can use your blocks here or not. You might want to use your blocks if you see where we're going next. We're going to raise our right leg up in the air behind us and then bring it up between our hands or the blocks. And you can pick it up and move it there. However you want to get it there, just make sure it gets up between your hands on or off blocks. So this is a high lunge. And then we're going to put our left knee down and then come up into Anjaneyasana. So scoot your left knee back as far as you can so you get the nice quad stretch. Make sure that your right knee is directly above the ankle. Open your chest forward. Your clavicle is down from your ears so that your arms are coming right out of the arm sockets, palms facing each other. And then maybe look up and lean backward. Think about right hip going back, left hip coming forward. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat or the blocks. And either way, you're going to walk your hands either on blocks or the mat toward your body as you straighten the right leg in front of you. So this is half of a split. So you want to be able to not lock that knee. The leg is straight, but not locked. So this is half of a split because if our other leg was behind us, it would be a full split, right? So we're just doing half of it. Ardha Hanuman, it's called. Keep your foot flexed, micro bend in that knee, and then just allow your chest to melt down toward the thigh. So this is a big, big hamstring stretch. And it goes all the way up into your piriformis area. And then slowly walk your hands back up or your blocks back up to your feet so that we're back to where we were in Anjaneyasana. So if your knees need padding, your left knee will be on a padding here if your knees like to be padded. Scoot the left leg back again, come up to Anjaneyasana again. This represents the child reaching up to the sun or the moon. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to the inside of your leg. And then walk your right foot out. And then slowly melt down. You can either stay here or you can melt down onto your forearms for our lizard pose. So you want your foot to be forward of your head. You want a wide angle in that leg. And you want your shoulder to be somewhere near your knee. And only come down as far as your hips will allow. Big hip stretch here. And then if you're on your forearm, slowly come back up. Walk your foot back in. Tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee off the mat, and then step your right foot back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot up in the air behind you. Exhale, swing it up between your legs, or between your hands. Or pick it up and put it there. And then the right knee comes down onto the mat, patting it accordingly. Make sure you scoot that knee back as far as you can to get the quad stretch. You can either keep your toes tucked or untuck. And then slowly come up into our Anjaneyasana on this side. Think about right hip forward, left hip back. And then if you have balance, look up between your hands, lean backwards. Right hip forward, left hip back. One deep breath. Exhale, bring your hands down. And here again, we're going to put them on blocks on either side of the foot, or your hands are on either side of the foot. And you're going to walk your hands or your blocks back toward your body so that you can straighten your left leg in front of you in a half of a split on this side. Keep the foot flexed, keep the knee up. Drag the heel on the sticky mat towards you so that knee doesn't lock on you. And then very slowly rebend the knee as you walk your hands or blocks back up. Get light in your fingertips. Come again to Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach up, bend back. Exhale, bring your hands to the inside of your left leg, either on blocks or the mat, and walk the left foot out so that you can come down into the lizard pose on this side. So you can either stay on your hands, come onto a block, or come on down to your forearms onto the mat, whichever suits you. Keep the foot forward of the head and the knee is someplace near your shoulder. Make sure there is a wide angle in the leg. And slowly push back up. Walk the foot in. Reframe your foot with your hands. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and then step back to downward facing dog. And now this time we're going to walk our hands back toward our feet. So bend your knees a lot as you do so. And then you end up in a forward fold toward the back of your mat. And then very slowly rise up. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms in a T. Back to Anjali Mudra. And then pause in Tadasana. So get your alignment. Think about your head on top of the shoulders, feet underneath the hips, palms slightly forward, shoulders down from your ears, chest forward, belly tucked in. Tadasana. Okay, so now I want to work on with you Warrior 1 and Warrior 2 separately, and then we're going to put it together in a little flow, and Warrior 1, Warrior 2, and the triangle pose. So first of all, I'm going to show you the difference between, we'll start with Warrior 1. Step your right foot back and bend your left knee, and I'll remind you about what the stance is all about here in Warrior 1. So in Warrior 1, your right hip is going to come forward with your right foot back. Your left knee is going to be on top of the ankle. Your back foot is slightly at a diagonal and your chest is forward. So one misalignment would be to come too far forward in your front leg. You don't want to extend your knee over the ankle. If that happens to you, just make your stance wider so that you can keep the knee over the ankle instead of in front of the ankle. It's okay to be behind the ankle, but just not forward of it. And your feet are about hip width distance apart here. Hip width distance apart. So your chest is forward, shoulders down from your ears, and then bring your arms to Warrior 1 with your palms facing each other. Keep your clavicle down so you're not crunching your neck. Chest is forward, tailbone down. And open your heart forward. And then bring your hands down to your hips and then step up. We'll do the other side. Step back into the Warrior 1 stance. Once again, the back foot is ankled. The right knee is over the ankle. The hips are square-ish forward, chest forward, and then arms beside your ears, palms facing each other. Tailbone down, chest open. You can look up between your hands if you like. And then bring your hands to your hips and then step up. Okay, so the difference in your leg positioning, I'm going to turn sideways, but you won't have to. With Warrior 2, in Warrior 1, your feet were hip width distance apart. In Warrior 2, you're going to be lining up your heel to the ankle. Let's start with our right leg in Warrior 2. So you're facing me still. So you're going to step your left foot back, right foot forward, and line up your heel to your back arch. so that your body is facing the long edge of your mat. Now here's a common misalignment here is to allow, if you can see my front knee, don't allow it to fall in like that. Make sure it stays right above the ankle. And float your arms up into Warrior Two position parallel. Turn your head to face the front fingers. So this is Warrior Two. So you can see how the feet differ from Warrior One, even though the front knee is still bent, but the feet position differ and your chest is off to the side instead of forward. And now straighten your front leg. Turn your palms up and pivot your body into triangle. So this is where you take your back of your hand, place it anywhere along the front leg, and your other arm comes up, straight up into triangle pose. And you're looking forward. So you're not looking at me now, you're looking forward. And then pull yourself back up out of triangle, step your feet together. And then we'll do the other side. So this time your left knee is going to be forward. Your right foot is back, line up heel to arch. Make sure that knee stays over the ankle. And then bring your arms parallel, turn your head to face the front fingers. Tailbone down, equal weight in both feet. And then straighten the front leg, flip the palms up as you come into your triangle on this side. And then pull yourself up and step your feet together. Okay, so we're going to put all that together in a little mini flow. Please, if you're using blocks, have them handy in front of you. So there's all different levels of experience here, and make sure you just do what your body likes today. Just if there's something that we do that doesn't agree with you, then obviously don't do it. Starting in Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees forward, fold all the way down. Step back to downward facing dog. Kick your right leg up in the air behind you. Bend the right knee and open the right hip to the right. And maybe you can look under your left armpit and see your foot. Three-legged dog. And then return the foot back down to downward facing dog. And walk your feet up to your hands. Slowly come up to Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, come into a chair position. Make sure that you keep weight in your heels here. And if you look down, you can see the tips of your toes, tailbone down, shoulders are relaxed. And then inhale, straighten all the way back up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, open your eyes, palms facing down, open your hands, palms facing down, and then put your hands on your lower back like this. And lean into your hands as you open your chest upward. Keep control of your head, and then look up without allowing your head to fling back. And then slowly come back to Tadasana. And in Tadasana, see if you can come up on your tippy toes. And make sure you use your muscles a little bit more this way. And then back down. And then place your hands on your hips as you step your right foot back to Warrior One. And once you get your Warrior One legs, then you can bring your Warrior One arms into it. Start with the root and then grow from there. Okay, so now you remember the difference between Warrior One, Warrior Two. We're going to open to Warrior Two. So you're going to scoot your right foot back so it lines up with your left. And you're still looking at me because you're going to be looking over the middle finger of your front hand. Your chest is to the long side of your mat. Make sure that you think about rotating your left thigh outward to keep the knee stable. And then we'll flip our palms up, straighten the front leg, and then turn your head to look forward as you come into your triangle pose. So you're no longer facing me now. Re-bend the knee, come back to your warrior two. Now we're gonna pivot back to warrior one. So you're gonna shift your weight forward, bring your back foot around so that you're now more of a hip width distance apart in your legs, chest forward. Take your hands onto your thighs or your hips and straighten your front leg. And then bring your chest down towards your front leg into a pyramid pose. As this is balance, this takes a lot of balance to stay here. Make sure that your left hip goes back, your right hip comes forward. This is a two-legged balance and a big, big stretch. So now take your hands on the mat or your blocks. And your blocks would be beside the feet, the front foot. Bend the knee, and we're going to come into a standing split. So you're going to shift your weight into your left foot and bring your nose down toward your knee as your right leg comes in the air behind you. And then slowly bring your foot back down behind you. Back to warrior one. Good. And then bring your hands to your hips, step up, return to Tadasana. Okay, we'll do the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold all the way down. And then step back to your downward facing dog. Kick your left leg up in the air behind you. Bend the left knee, open your hip, and bring your foot around to the other side of your body. Look under your armpit, maybe you can see your foot. Bring the foot down, bend both knees, walk up to your hands. Slowly come up, back to Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, come into your chair. Inhale up. Exhale, bring your hands behind you, fingers pointing down. Open the chest, lean into your hands for the back bend. Keep control of your head. Come back up. Return to Tadasana. And then we'll do our tippy toe exercise again here. Come on to your tippy toes. And then come back down. Place your hands on your hips. Step your left foot back to get your warrior one legs in place. Back foot is cocked a little bit forward. Front knee is bent but not forward of the ankle. Hips are square-ish forward. And then arms beside your ears. Warrior one, palms facing each other. If you want to look up here, you can look up. Open the chest. Okay, here's where we're going to pivot our arms into warrior two. Scooch the back leg in a little bit to get your balance and get your warrior two legs. And then you're turning your head to look over the front fingers. Tailbone down, equal weight in both feet. Flip the palms up, bring the shoulders down from the ears, straighten the front leg and windmill as you shift your hips to the left, windmill open to your triangle pose. And pull up, back into warrior two. Pivot forward back to warrior one, shifting your stance accordingly. And then place your hands on your hips, straighten the front legs. Think about bringing the left hip forward, right hip back as we come into the pyramid pose. Now, always an option here, instead of keeping your hands on your hips, if you want to put your hands on the mat or on blocks, that's always a good option. But think about making sure that your right hip goes back, because the tendency is to cock the left hip up, and that sort of avoids the stretch. All right, slowly bend the front knee, and then we're going to come into our standing split. Now you can either use blocks or keep your hands on the mat. Shift the weight onto the right foot, bring the left leg up behind you, and bring your nose toward your knee. Bring your foot back down. Slowly rise up to warrior one. Bring the hands down, frame your front foot, pivot onto your left toes, step back to downward facing dog. Bring your knees down to the mat, and then sit all the way back to your heels in child pose. And this time, bring your arms beside your body, palms facing up, and allow your head to rest on a block or the mat in front of you. Widen the knees as much as you need to be able to bring your chest beneath between the thighs. Please slowly push up. Come onto your backs. And bend your knees. Place your feet flat on the mat, about hip-width distance apart. Bring your arms to a T, palms facing up. Push into your feet, lift your hips, shift them 1 inch to the left, and then allow your knees to fold over to the right, twisting along the way so your shoulders are still staying flat on the mat as much as possible. And then turn your head to look over your left hand. Bring the knees to center, pick up your bottom, place it back to center, then pick it up and place it 1 inch to the right as you allow your knees to fall to the left, keeping your shoulders open, flat on the mat as possible, and then turn your head to look to the right. Knees come back to center. Reshift your bottom to center. Extend your legs long on the mat. Please prepare your body for Shavasana, relaxing any way that you like. And I'm going to read to you while you relax. So please think about slowing down your breath. Take a mental body scan. Relax all the tension that you feel anywhere. Paying special attention to your shoulders, your neck, and your jaw. So Mary Oliver is an American poet. author of several books. She died last year, and she's known for her nature imagery in her poems. And I'm going to read to you as you relax her poem entitled, I Happened to Be Standing. I don't know where prayers go or what they do. Do cats pray while they sleep, half asleep in the sun? Does the possum pray as it crosses the street? The sunflowers, the old black oak growing older every year. I know I can walk through the world, along the shore or under the trees, with my mind filled with things of little importance, in full self-attendance. A condition I can't really call being alive. Is a prayer a gift or a petition, or does it matter? The sunflowers blaze, maybe that's their way. Maybe the cats are sound asleep, maybe not. While I was thinking this, I happened to be standing just outside my door with my notebook open, which is the way I begin every morning. Then a wren in the privet began to sing. He was positively drenched in enthusiasm. I don't know why, and yet why not? I wouldn't persuade you from whatever you believe or what you don't. That's your business. But I thought of the wrens singing, what could this be if it isn't a prayer? So I just listened, my pen in the air. Please very slowly bend your knees and roll to your right side in a fetal position to seal the practice. And then please very slowly, keeping a quiet mind, push to seated. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Namaste. Jai Yoga.